Good morning, everyone. Today is Saturday, January 18th, and today we will cover the trades for YieldMax funds, TSLY, Cony, Nvidy, Misty, and AMZY. But since it's Saturday, and I have my new fancy handy spreadsheet, I will look at all other trades that YieldMax did have, or at least the ones that are on the intraday trade file. All right, but we'll begin, of course, with, the usual five. And then obviously, if no one's interested in the others, they could feel free to, stop watching. Also, I have to ask, because you'll see Misty, and Misty's a freaking disaster. So today I'm going to ask for some likes in the beginning. So if you don't mind, if you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. I'm going to go for 1,000 likes. I know I never reached that goal, but I don't care. I'm going to try yet again. I think one day we're going to hit it. Maybe today's that day. So yeah, if you guys enjoy this content, please take a moment real quick. Just hit the like button and then let YouTube do its thing, and maybe the algorithms will work out well. But yeah, I'm only asking because you'll see Misty was a freaking, I don't even know. I hope I got it all right. But anyway, that being said, let's start with TSLY. So again, I'm going to zoom in and get everything but the ETF price, right? We want the out of the money in the picture. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so if we just look at TSLY, again, this is simply the intraday trades. It's now loaded through Google Sheets. Again, thanks to one of the community members who wants to go unnamed. He did help me out, and we essentially I'll say pretty much automated it, and added a few different things. So I think it's going to be helpful for all of us going forward to look at it this way. Obviously, I made it black too. I always feel like things look better in this format. All right. So anyway, what did TSLY do yesterday? TSLY, right from the top, buy call, sell put. Okay, so they did a buy call, sell put, 250 contracts. That simply just means they added 250 contracts to their positions, and then they used those right away, and they sold a call into next week, 124. So you could see going real quick across, we have the date, obviously the date of the trades, ETF. That's the ETF, and then the underlying, and then the quantity is the number of contracts. The type is, it's either buy or sell. Sometimes it says buy to close, or just buy or sell or short sell, but it's buy or sell. Then it's going to be call or put. Then you see the expiration date right there, execution price, how much they paid per share or how much they got per share. And then the value will have the true signage. That's automated. Obviously, green would be, a credit. That's us getting money. Red would be a debit. That's us paying money. And then you have the strike price, the stock price, which is the stock price of the underlying as of the last close, and then the percent out of the money. All right. Now that I covered all those columns, so yeah, the 250, they sold a call with a strike of 442.50. And you see the stock price, right? 426.50. So it's 3.75% out of the money. But obviously, we'll get into that in the spreadsheet. And then here, you're going to see, the buy to close, execution price 763, which is super close, but not good. And I'll show you that in a second. And then obviously, they used those 14,195 contracts. They sold a call into next week. They essentially rolled it, right? They did a roll. They moved the strike price up and the date out. So you'll see, obviously, they closed the 425 strike, and then they opened the 442.50 strike. But it looks easier. It's much easier to understand since we do have the spreadsheet. So let's take a look. All right, so they have two synthetics. TSLY has two synthetic positions. Again, this was pre-existing. They have not closed it yet. But as you recall, they did close a portion of it. They closed out 10,000 contracts the other day. They moved it to 400, but they still have 18,693 contracts under the 480, and they're actually catching up. They actually have a fighting chance to turn this into a profitable, transaction here. 35 days away to make 11%. And with Elon being involved with Trump, And the inauguration this week, I don't know, man. It's very doable, I think. But look at the earnings. Earnings is January 29th. So that would have to obviously be some good news. But we'll see what happens. Now, the other synthetic, the 400, yeah, this is doing good. It's 6% above, right? Tesla's 6% above that strike. So that's doing well. So we mentioned they added to the synthetic, right? The 250. So when it comes to having two synthetics and they add new contracts, they're typically going to add to the closer strike. And since Tesla is at 426.50, 426.50 is closer to 400 than 480, obviously, right? So there they are adding to that synthetic. Cost them about $1 million to add to it because they're already ahead, right? It's already a valuable position. And, that now totals 10,250 contracts to the 400 strike. All right. Hopefully that made sense. Again, if something doesn't make sense, let me know in the comments and I try, if I remember, to address it in the next video. Okay, so Tesla went up on Friday. It went up 3.06%. TSLY went up 2.19%. So pretty decent capture. It's they didn't lose out in a whole percent, so that's good. But obviously it can always be better, but it can always be worse. So it wasn't that bad. But here's what's bad. Let me show you guys this. So they had the 425. I don't know if you guys remember yesterday's video, but it was all about 425, 425, 425, 425. So what did Tesla close at? If we look at the top left, Tesla closed, sell E1, right? 426.50. I mean, damn, right? Damn. We just freaking missed it, right? We just missed it. But the break even was what? 432.21. So technically, we should have won, right? We should have made more, but I don't know. Again, they probably closed it. They don't close it at 4 p.m. So we have to assume, obviously, there's time value left when they close the position. Also, Tesla could have been a higher price than what it was then. So keep that in mind. But look what they freaking paid to close it. $7.63, right? $7.63. This 721, that's the credit that they got to open it. So guess what? They lost by a freaking thread, right? Just by a little. And you know what? If they didn't have the credit call spread, you know what would have happened? Their strike would have been probably like 435, and they would have won their trade. Hate to say it, but it's true. Now the one down here, they made 779 on that one, and this, okay, they paid 763. So they did make, in the end, a little profit there. So if we scroll to the right, there is one win. The one win, they made 67,000. However, everything else is a freaking loss, including the credit call spreads. So unfortunately, we kind of just missed it. We kind of just missed making a profit overall for this week. It was close. But again, I blame the credit call spreads in this scenario because without them, we wouldn't have had to go as tight as we did. Although this is showing 7% out of the money, which is pretty damn good, right? That's pretty far out. But again, what was the time that they opened it versus, how much time, what the IV was. But regardless, they would have gone a little further out of the money, which would have saved them and had them win the trade without the credit call spreads, right? But it's unfortunate they lost the trade. Now, they did open new trades, but I'm just going to go down the line and I'm going to read all of the existing contracts heading into next week and where we stand. 7,198 contracts, 435 strike price. That's 1.99% out of the money. 7,300 contracts, 432.50 strike price. That's 1.41% out of the money. That's going to be tough next week, but hey, we'll see, man. Tesla's been going up a lot, so it could be settling down. But if Elon shows his face on inauguration or gets involved in the news, who knows, man? I don't know if again, should that matter for Tesla going up? It's all speculation. It's all whatever, what the market will market, but we'll see. Now, they closed out these losers right at the top, right? Where are they? So we have 14,195 contracts. So that's right here. So they took that and the 250, right? The 250 we saw they added, new synthetic position. They used both of those and they decided to choose a 442.50 strike price for next week. That is 3.75% out of the money. And then, of course, yes, call credit spread. $20 gap on that one. And in the end, what are they yielding? One's about 100% and the other is about 80%. Their IV is 71%, so seems a little aggressive. But again, man, I hope they start winning their trades because it kind of gets annoying after some time. So the outstanding shares did increase by 1.7 mil. That's a 2% increase. That's pretty damn massive. 30-day IV is 71%. Outstanding shares, 85,975,000. Total net income, no, of course not. They're losing money, right? They're losing 32 million on the weekly trades, which sucks. All right, reaction, yeah. I'm sorry, TSLY fund manager, but you are a loser. I know that's not Jim Carrey, but it's a little girl, I guess. That's what I could find. But you lost, so you are a loser. It was close, though. Group A declares in 4 days on the 22nd. That's next week, which means Sunday, I will put out the guesstimate video. All right, payment information. Let's see what we got here. All right. Under, row 5, synthetic income, no, that's a loss. 62.6 mil. Short call income, no, that's a loss. 32.1 mil. Net income, no, that's a loss. They have lost 94.7 million in realized, or taxable gains, whatever, losses, etc. It's realized losses. So, I mean, yeah, that's horrible. So this is the data. This is the data I'm using to put up a guesstimate. I mean, this is a joke. So you guys know what the guesstimate's going to be pretty much. I'm going to go right to the IV. The IV is 71%, which is pretty damn good, actually. And that would produce an 86-cent payment. So obviously my guesstimate is going to be around that number. And it's going to be a letdown because the prior payment was $1.28. Let's see what we got as far as credit carry forward, though. Okay, we do have $2.25 in credit carry forward. So that changes things, right? That means that they could technically pay $1 and eat into that. But will they? That's the question. Will they? Right off the bat, me thinking, I don't think they would. But, we'll see. We'll see what I come up with. All right. So here's the holdings. In case you're wondering, they have the 400, the 480. Yeah, the 480 is pretty much a gold digger. I'm not going to sing because the momentum of Tesla, it's kind of chasing the gold digger out. So I do have hope that it's a temporary gold digger. But they got some work to do. And then obviously you see all the calls in between. Yep. So the synthetic bailout money is negative, of course. But then not terrible, negative 66 mil. Because the 400 synthetic is doing well. The total net assets of this fund is 1.2 bill. The NAV is 1448. And the trade price is 1449. Okay? So that's for TSLY. Now, Misty. Yeah. Let me go. I have to scroll to it. I have to go through these others. But, I'll get back to some of these others, and then we'll go from there. But Misty, man, you guys got to see this. Look at this. This is why I said hit the like button, please. And I can't go through these because we're going to go nuts. But look at all the freaking trades. I've been dreading this day. And Misty, I mean, talk about a Friday night killer. This was the Friday night killer, man. This is horrible. Like, what in the actual hell? What in the actual hell? Again, I'm not going to go through them on here. I'm just going to go right to my spreadsheet. Borderline crying yesterday after seeing that. All right. So what do they got going? Well, guess what? Guess what they did? They rolled some of their synthetic. They had a synthetic 315. MSTR has been mooning, and they are up on that position 25%. So they said, you know what? We're broke as hell. Let's roll some of this. So they did. They rolled. Oh, I got to make this column bigger. There you go. So they rolled it. They closed 27,250 contracts. And then they closed 2,300 contracts. Not sure why. But whatever. They did. How much did they make? A lot, right? So you see the 273 up here. See that? Click that. That's the credit that they got for selling the call, right? Because remember, the synthetic is a buy, call, sell, put. When you get out of the position, it's a sell, call, buy, put. So you're selling your call and you're buying to close the put, right? So when you're selling the call and the underlying is priced above the strike of the synthetic, you're going to make a lot of money. And you made a lot of money, $273 million. However, you do have to pay the 47 to close the other position. So again, it's like 220 something million dollars on that. And then the 2,300, again, they sold a call. They made about 22.3 mil. All right. Cost about 3 mil to close the put. All right. They made 19 mil on that one. So lots of money is made. Now that all rolls into payment 4 down here, which looks to be a massive credit. So that's going to fare well when we do get to the payment screen. Now, obviously, they closed the 27,250 contracts, and they put it here, right? The other one, I think, was a forcible closure. Maybe people are selling out the 2,300. But this, they rolled. They rolled it from the 315 to the 390. Little expense here, about 24.7 mil, so that's going to eat at our profits. But that's okay. It's a new position. It's essentially at the money. What was the strike? I didn't update the field here. 390. So I got to update this. Okay, so that's a 390, which, MSTR is at 396. So it's 1% above that. Again, it was essentially at the money, I'm sure, when they opened it. Actually, I don't know what the expiration date is. Let's go check. So what do we say, 390? If we go back here, we can see, the 390 is right there. If you look, expiration date still 2/21. Okay. Whatever. All right, so and then we stand payment 4. Obviously, now that would be picked up on the payment tab details. So I better make sure it is. Okay, now, that's on the synthetic. Before we get into the weeklies, how did MSTR actually do yesterday? Oh my God, you got to scroll through all this mess. This is, I always say I enjoy doing this, but yesterday was one of those days where, I'd rather not be doing this on the Friday after work, right? I'd rather not be plugging in all these damn numbers. It's okay if you, like a couple lines, that's easy. But when it's that massive, good God. And then next week's going to be no better, and you'll see why. All right, MSTR went up 8.13%. MSTY, what an embarrassment. It went up 3.28%. Not even 50%. What a freaking joke. Come on, man. Do better. Do better. We should be well above freaking $30. MSTY is at $29.87. Horrible. All right. So let's see. I don't even know. Let's go to the top here. We're just gonna have to go in order. There's no other way around it. So they had the 9,131 contracts. They had the 370, right? Well, they all had the 370. Now the 99 below that, the 12. So all of these just closed, right? And how much did they pay? They paid out their ass. 2022, 1942, 20. They lost and got their asses handed to them on every single trade because they got blown through the 370. MSTR is at 396. The 370 got destroyed. But don't worry, guys. We have a call credit spread, okay? We got this. Oh, I'm sorry. It's at 460. What a crapshoot, man. That's why the gap can't be so freaking high. And I'm sorry to be negative here, but that sucks. 460? What'd that pay? 7 cents, 8 cents, 6 cents? What the hell's the point? That did nothing for us. That did absolutely freaking nothing for us except cost us money. So if we go over here, wins, loss, what do you see? What do you see? Loss, 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 loss. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. We lost a lot of money this week. What a freaking disaster. We got our asses handed to us on a platter. Should the call credit spreads be a $90 gap? Was that helpful? What was the point? What is the point? All right. Anyway, let's move on. That was the 370. Here's the 365. How did this do? Let's see. Not good. Look at the gap on that credit call spread. Freaking $95. Are you kidding me? So, yeah, man, they lost a lot on this one too. You know, just another 11 mil throwing out money right there. All right. What else we got? We got 392.50s. All right, so that's closer to the 396. This had a fighting chance. In fact, if this was, wait, they closed out 35. Yeah, so this one they closed out early. The 2300 they closed out early for whatever reason, and then they closed 3505. Again, I'm not going to go through why they did some of the trades. A lot of it was freaking weird. But again, so they closed out one that expired next week, 3,505 contracts. And they took the loss, right? They took the loss of the other one too. So again, we're just losing. We lost more money. This should be red too. It's all red. Oh, wait, we have a win? Oh, yeah. Call credit spread did win. Sorry. So that did offset some of the damage. So maybe that's why they closed it out early, because it was 1% in the money. But again, these are weekly trades. Why don't, let them play out or not? I don't know. Okay. Finally, we can get to the new positions, all right? Sorry to be negative, but I don't want to lose every freaking trade. It just gets annoying sometimes. And I don't want to be capped that bad either. Especially, what a week, man. What a week. And we got destroyed. By the way, I'm just curious, not to dwell on the past. Remember those two contracts uncovered? Do you? Let's see, where are they? Yeah, here they are. The 5805 and the 4100. Those had a 395, right? Wow, that they actually, again, they may have been able to close that at a profit early, right? But in the end, if those stayed open, we would have captured most of that upside potential just on those contracts, right? At least, whatever percentage that made up of, but they closed it out super early, so never mind. That we didn't really couldn't capitalize on those. All right, so here's the positions for next week. I'm just going to go down the line like I did with TSLY. We have 1100, 4100, 1350, and 950. All right, I'm not doing the math. That's a 395 strike price, and that's 0.38% in the money. So I pretty much say that's not the best start, right? That's not the best start heading into the week. Obviously, they have the credit cost branch, $85 gap, which, yeah, so MSTR, yeah. So what they can do, they can close them out early, which is essentially accepting the loss, right? It's accepting the loss earlier, and then they could open the new position. But as of right now, they're getting their asses handed to them on that trade. And then we got 10,000 contracts, 425 strike price. Here we go, 7% out of the money. All right, we got some room. Now we got 10,000 plus 10,858 plus 1250 contracts, 427.50 strike price, 7.82% out of the money. And then we got the 3505 plus the 5677, 432.50 strike price, 9.08% out of the money. All right. So hopefully these can hold up next week because after this week, we just got destroyed. And keep in mind, yeah, they rolled the synthetic, but they didn't roll all of it. So, if MSTR comes back down, whatever. We'll see the numbers. We'll see if it's needed. But obviously, the weeklies, they're not doing well. They are not doing well. All right. So remember the 2300, right? They closed out part of the synthetic. We didn't see them added to the new synthetic because it's bye-bye, right? People sold out. So 50,000 outstanding share decrease. You don't normally see a decrease in Misty. Anyway, 30-day IV. Oh my God, this is outstanding. 111%. Now, Misty, fund manager, 111% 30-day IV. Can you stop doing credit call spreads on every single damn one and go 30% out of the money, 20% out of the money, 40% out of the money? Just freaking do it. Do it on a few. Why the hell not? You could still get good premium. Nobody listens. Anyway, outstanding shares, 67.9 mil. Total net income, let's see. No. They lost 78 million. Horrible. This is not for their trades. This is just for what in the hell were they doing? They're just making it so complicated to even look at. Like, what in the hell? How many 427.50s do you need? How many 432.50s do you need? How many 395.50 or 395s do you need? I don't know. Maybe they're here to make my life hell. Group D declares again in 25 days. Because as you know, Misty paid Friday, by the way. Congratulations. Everyone got paid. Hopefully, if your broker's decent, they paid you. And yeah, so that's good news. But, again, it's hurtful that we can't even capitalize on 50% of the upside of the underlying. And it's very annoying. So that is why I am bitching on behalf of you guys. Some of you may not care, but to be honest, you really should. All right. So you remember that synthetic that they haven't touched? All right, they finally touched it. And man, oh man. Oh, by the way, I got to make sure it's picking up the new 390 tab. Yep. Okay. So the synthetic income, finally, here we go, 233 mil. All right, finally we can talk about some freaking profit, okay? But let's deduct out the 78 million losers, and we get a total net income of 155 million. That comes to about 228 per share. It's a great start, but, again, we don't like losing 78 million. But again, we're going to forget about it next week, right? We're going to forget about this week happened, and we're going to move on, all right? We're going to have a fresh start, and we're going to focus now. We have 228 in income. So what, Rodimator is useless at this point. It's probably going to be useless this whole freaking cycle. But if we just look at the IV, 111% would pay a $2.56 distribution. Obviously, they're already earned 228. I honestly expect them to roll the rest of this synthetic at some point, probably for a profit. So we could be looking at a pretty solid distribution this coming up around the $3 range. I don't want to get your hopes up yet, but again, that's just how I feel things are going. All right, so here's the 315, here's the 390. Those are both obviously, synthetic positions, doing well. And then here's all the calls. Again, the good news is, this makes it look much more simplified, right? Scattered strikes, okay. Credit call spreads, okay. Unfortunately, the 395 is getting destroyed. And you see this, 23.25, see that? That's how much it costs to close that per share. That's a disaster. So we'll see how this week goes, but luckily it's only 7,500 contracts. And then they got the call credit spread right here, and that'll pay us $5.33 per share. Again, is this helping enough? I personally, half and half is fine. I need some of this without the damn credit call spread. I need them to go further out of the money on MSTR or MSTY, whatever. I just need it. I need it. The first time around, I don't know, whatever. I'm going to stop. Well, here's some other good news. Well, good news for YieldMax or Title. The fund has now reached $2 billion. $2 freaking billion, this fund. Do you believe this? The NAV is $29.96, trade price $29.97. Look at what the synthetic's worth. All right, it's worth another 201 mil, which would be an additional $2.96 per share. So obviously, if they cash that out, yeah, you'd be looking at a decent payment next time around. So we'll see what happens, though. All right. Okay, so that's Misty. Sorry to be negative on Misty, but again, you know, it could have been better. All right, let's go to, so here's Nvidia. Let me see if they had a trade. So I have to go back. Let's scroll to the beginning. Sorry to make you guys dizzy. I'm gonna go in order, and then we're gonna go through the rest of it. It's gonna be a long video, unfortunately. I already have to pee, but we'll suck it up here. So what are they doing here? Buy to close 18,000 contracts. All right. So how much did they pay? Execution price, all right, 117 per share, or 2.1 million. That means they may have just won that trade. Maybe, right? The only reason I say that is look at the new trade, all right? They got 131 per share and a $2.3 million credit. So between the two, it's an overall credit. Closing the old, opening the new. Yep, you can look at it that way too, right? But then, of course, this, the call credit spread, when they sold the call part, they got 72,000. And when they bought the new one, it cost them 306,000. So, between these four, it looks to be a debit, actually. Let's see. Yeah, the sum, you can't even get it to work, but yeah, so what is that, like 252,000, and that's about it's close. It may be a wash, but either way, okay, we'll take it. We'll move on. Now, 30,000 contracts BC buy to close, right? No more BC, right? We converted to buy to close, so you guys don't have to ask me what BC is, right? And, or if you're just watching it with no sound, or I don't know, whatever. Anyway, they paid 20 cents. That's a winning trade right there. They closed a 138 strike. It looks like Nvidia closed at 137. Perfect. Outstanding. Just made it. And then they sold a new call, right? They sold a new call. Strike price 140. 1.66% out of the money. That's a little weak, to be honest, but whatever. And then BC buy to close, right? 20 cents. Okay, that's definitely a win, right? So now let's look at their new. Here's their new sold call, 140 strike, 1.66% out of the money. Okay, that's weak. What's with these tight ass strike prices, Nvidia? I don't know. Let's go to the sheet. All right, so yesterday, Nvidia had a good day. I mean, the market had a freaking good day. Nvidia, it went up 3.01%. Nvidy went up 2.56%. Now that's capturing upside. That's what I'm talking about. How much upside did it capture? 85%, all right? 85%. When some of these others can't even capture 50. So good job, Nvidia. Obviously, they were in a good spot to capture it. It's all about timing, too. But, hey, it is what it is. What happened, happened. Now, they have four synthetic positions, a 127, a 135, a 138, and a 148. I mean, is that necessary? I guess so. But how are they doing? Are they making money? Well, it's close. The only one they're not is the 148. So, no need to sing, right? No singing gold digger here, because they're in a good spot. They're in a pretty damn good spot. Now, let's talk about the trades for next week. We kind of said how much out of the money they went, but we'll just do a full recap of what's open. 29,268 contracts, 137 strike price. That is 0.52% in the money. Obviously, that was probably already there. And I believe these are the new positions, or at least the new position. 61,572 contracts, 140 strike price. That's 1.66% out of the money. 18,000 contracts, 141 strike price, 2.39% out of the money. Okay, yes, they all have credit calls, brands. Yeah, I mean, these are tight. These are some tight-ass strikes. So as good as they did, profiting this week, not a fan of their next week's strikes. The value of the fund is 1.4 bill. The NAV is 2267, trade price 2269. Overall, if you add up all the synthetic position, it does have a positive market value of 26 million. That comes to about 41 cents per share. And their 30-day IV is 38%. IV estimate based on that is 66 cents. And they declare again with Group B in 11 days on January 29th. Okay, so that's Nvidia. And here's AMZY. All right, so did AMZY have a trade? I don't know. I have to go back. Yeah. Oh my God, they have a decent amount of trades. So what do they got? Buy call, sell put, sell call, buy call. So those first four trades, they added 200. See this? 275 contracts to the synthetic position, right? Which synthetic? The 210. You see the strike 210, and then they sold a call, right? Short sale call. They sold a call 227.50, just above the 225. That's 0.69% out of the money. Well, that sucks. I mean, that's very tight. So that's a horrible position. And then what else? They did a BC buy to close, right? They closed out the position for that week or last week, whatever, 304. That's not good. So they probably lost that trade. Looks like they did. And then they opened a new one, right, with the same 320. Short sale. What they pick? 227.50, 0.69% out of the money. Horrible. I mean, I'm assuming they picked these strikes earlier in the day, and then Amazon went up. I don't know, man. What is with these tight ass strikes? All right. Especially with the inauguration, right? I feel like the market's just heading upwards. What do they see? We don't. Amazon, it went up 2.34%. AMZY went up 1.32%. You know, it captured 56%. Not that great, to be honest. It's above 50%, but again, you know, I could do better for sure. All right, so as far as AMZY is concerned, they have a 210 synthetic. Amazon's at 225, so this synthetic is valuable. Now, let's look at their positions heading into next week. We already talked about, you know, some of the trades from yesterday. But the overall positions are 12,345 contracts, 225 strike price, 0.42% in the money. That's the majority position, and it's in the money. So obviously, yeah, that's not fantastic. And then they got 595 contracts, 227.50 strike price, 0.69% out of the money. Yeah, they're screwed. They're screwed. They need Amazon to go down next week. The value of this fund is 291 mil. The NAV is 1888, trade price 1889. We said the synthetic is worth money, and absolutely it is. It's worth 21 mil, which comes to about $1.37 per share. So when they do cash this out, obviously, you know, expect a good distribution during that cycle, wherever that falls. Probably this cycle, to be honest. 30-day IV of Amazon is 35%. IV estimate is 52 cents based on that. They're part of Group D. They just paid out, so they will declare again on February 12th, which is 25 days away. Okay, Cony. Cony's up next, all right? Did they have a trade? I'm sure they did, so let's go to it. Are they... No, they'd be after. They'd be further down. Oh, my God. Sorry, guys. It's a long video because it's a freaking Saturday video. And I got, you know, my Saturday videos. Well, I do 3 Saturday videos. I do this one. I do the options one. And I do the dry series. So obviously, you know, busy day today. And of course, my son wants a play date. And we got baseball. And they want to go to the skate park and this and that and everything. I was like, all right. Very busy day. All videos in between. So, what do we got here? What the hell is going on, right? I don't know. I'm just gonna go right to the buy to close. Buy to close, 1492. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Buy to close 1570. Buy to close 20. Buy to close 450. Fighting chance. Maybe they won that. And then buy to close 1630. They lost a lot of money. Just like MSTY, you know, they lost a lot of money opening or closing last week's positions. So now, obviously, they open new positions. I'm not going to read the out of the money here because we're going to get to it on the holdings. But obviously, for the most part, the important piece that we can't see on the holdings is, did they win their trades? And the answer is no. N-O means no. But let's see how much they captured of the upside. Coin went up 4.69%. Cony went up 2.64%. That is a 56% capture. Not ideal. Better than Misty, but still pretty crappy. All right. Now, Cony. So, Coin is at 295. What are their synthetics at? They have a 280. That's doing good because coin is priced above that, so that's worth money overall, right? 300, that's not really worth money, because obviously coin is below that. And then we have the 320, $91 million for that pussy, 91 million. That's pretty much a gold digger, right? Don't you think? You take my money when I'm in need. Yeah, man. Gold digger. Oh, she's a gold digger. All right. Anyway, what do we got here? So obviously down here, these are the calls. You could see, you know. So look at the 280. 280 call, 45 million, right? 280 put, 24 million. So if the orange is greater than the pink, they are making money. They're doing well. All right. Here's the 300, 19 million. And then the call is worth 18 mil. See how that one's close? And then the other one's a gold digger. Why? Because the dude has 42 mil and the chick wants 91 mil. So he's with a gold digger. He can't afford her. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And I had to sing. So, yeah. I know some people say they mute their radio or they turn down the radio when I sing, which is actually pretty funny if you think about it. So let's go through the what's left. All right, for next week, 4 trading days next week, by the way. I don't even think I said that yet. 4 trading days, 8,000 contracts, 295 strike price, 0.16% in the money. Well, that's a great start. 10,000 contracts, 302.50 strike price, 2.38% out of the money. That's really crappy too. And then the largest position, at least the largest, is the highest strike, 21,405 contracts, 320 strike price, 8.3% out of the money. Okay. Hopefully Trump doesn't say anything fantastic about crypto because, you know, Wee's capped. Wee's capped. We are not ready for a bull week. The value of this fund, 1.1 bill. The NAV is 1366. Trade price 1362. Synthetics are negative because we sang the gold digger. 30-day IV of coin is 79%. IV estimate 84 cents. Group C declares in 18 days on February 5th. Okay? So those are the big 5, right? The big 5. That's what I cover on the daily videos. Now, since I have these intraday trades, what I said on the Saturday video, I'm going to go through all other trades. I know, this is brutal. This video is so long, I can't take it. But some of you actually want to see this. So let's do it. All right. By the way, let me check what time it is because I'm supposed to put, it's 5:55. That's not good. All right, OARC, what'd they do? Buy to close, right? Buy to close. How much they pay? 120. Is that a win? I don't know, but how do I tell? I look at the next trade. They're selling a call for next week. What'd they make? 62 cents. If they only made 62 on the new position and they paid $1.20 to close the old, that tells me, yeah, they definitely didn't make over $1.20 on the old. Again, I don't know because I don't have the data, but I'm just going to assume that OARC lost their weekly trade. All right, Apple's up next. BC bought to close, 19 cents. Okay, now we're talking. That's a win, right? Because they closed, they paid $108,000. And then the new sold call, $532,000. Yeah, that obviously, so they made more on the new position. It's all about really, if it's an overall credit, then that's good. And someone did mention about adding subtotals down here. I'm working on that, right? With my programmer friend. I don't know if it's possible. We have to see because the way this spreadsheet works, it's a little complex, but we shall see. Anyway, the new athlete strike, by the way, they chose a 235 strike. That's 2.18% out of the money. That's over here, okay? So, yeah, I don't know if you guys think that's a good strike for you athlete holders. All right, GUI holders, hello, how are you? BC bought a close, all right, they closed the call, 116 per share. The new one, they've got a 176 credit, so you see, right? So they paid $33,000 to close the old. They got a 51,000 credit on the new, so I guess, yeah, they probably, won that trade. Now, what else? This is a larger position, 2,710 contracts, BC bought a close, 117. All right, so they paid $317,000 to close the old, and they got a $479,000 credit on the new. So yeah, it looks like they won their trade, although it was pretty damn close. New strike price, they're selling a call for $197.50 strike price. That is only 0.77% out of the money. That is not ideal. All right, up next is Phoebe. What did they do? BC bought a close, 66 cents per share. All right, looks like a win. Safe to say that's a win. Good job, Phoebe. New call for next week. They sold a call. They got, look at that credit, man. It's a nice 648 per share. Damn. So they chose a strike price. Damn, Meta's that high? I didn't even realize that. They chose a strike price of $622.50. And look at the price of Meta, $612. So that is 1.59% out of the money. For Meta, that may be okay, but it still seems kind of tight for me. All right, up next is NVDY. Again, the NVDY's always been a solid fund. By the close, actually, what price are they at? They're currently at $17.50, still hanging strong. All right, by the close, 63 cents. That's how much they paid to close that position. I'm just looking at the credit on the new one. 2048. Is that even right? I assume it is. I don't know. I have to double check it after the video. But damn, that's some nice premium. They must have a decent IV at the moment. But should I add IV to this? Maybe. Anyway, so they sold a call for next week. They chose a strike price of $900. That is 4.88% out of the money. So they went 4% out of the money and they still got a credit like that. Something ain't right. All right, we'll scroll past Cony. We covered that. MSFO. Hello, MSFO holders. How are you? By the close, 403. Well, that's not good. They lost that trade. That is for damn sure. And then they sold a call into next week. They chose a strike price of 435, and that's 1.39% out of the money. JPMO, JIPMO. We never talk about them. Why? Because they're a big bank. You know, we don't support these big bank bastards. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe some of you do. I don't I never really invested in banks, but when I did, it was, the big three. It was JP Morgan, it was Bank of America, and Wells Fargo, because they pretty much run the show. But anyway, BC bought it closed, and they paid $504. Yeah, they lost that trade. So JPMO, no. And they sold the call for next week. Let's see. They chose a strike price of $260. However, JPM stock price showing $259, 0.32% out of the money. That's not going to work. That don't work for me. All right, up next is AMZY. Let's see if they won their trade. They paid $224 per share. Yeah, they definitely did not win the trade, because if you look at the new, see, how are they getting such a small credit compared to freaking whatchamacallit, Nvidia? I mean, Nefly. Anyway, that makes me want to, but whatever. So look at the credit. Sold a call for next week, 114 credit. So obviously they paid 1.4 mil to close, and then they got a credit of 752,000 on that. So that's, overall loser. But they sold a call for next week, 125 strike. That is 2.91% out of the money. And you can see all of these have call credit spreads, by the way, which I'm not mentioning because it's a given. PP is next. BC bought a close, 256. They had to pay about 1.7 million to close that position, and they sold a call for next week. Only got 91 cents per share on that. So they lost that trade, and they chose a strike price of $94 on their new call, which is 2.39% out of the money. Here's the worst fund of all, MSTY. All right, BC bought a close. All right, they closed their position 1 penny. They paid 1 penny. Why? Because Moderna just goes down. So obviously, selling covered calls, selling. And guess what? It doesn't even look like, well, if they did have a credit call spread, they couldn't even get a freaking penny for it. And the new position, they have a credit call spread. Why? Moderna don't go up. What are we worried about, right? What a crappy crap. Anyway, the new call, they sold a call for what? $35.50, 4.23% out of the money. Yeah, credit call spread on MSTY. Get the hell out of here. All right, BC bought a close. Here we go. AIYY, they paid 2 cents. They paid 4 cents. Good job, AIYY. You won your trade. And then they sold a call for next week, a 32. No, I'm sorry, a 33 and also a 33. So both of them 3.09% out of the money. MSTY we covered, thankfully. YBIT, BC bought a close, 271. And then they opened a new call. Yeah, so YBIT lost their trade. Well, crypto's been on a tear, so that's, not a surprise. They sold a call for next week, $63 strike price. No credit call spread. Look at you. Look at you go. All right, that's 5.67% out of the money. Here's the freaking inverses. Crash. Ay, ay, ay. All right, so what did they do? BC bought a close. Call and put. I'm just looking at the debits and credits because I don't even understand how some, because it's like these are too confusing to understand. But the overall, right? See that 641,000 buy to close the call. Yeah, they lost their overall. They definitely lost their trade. It looks like because Tesla's been on a tear. So obviously, the inverse crashed, not doing that great. GDXY BC buy to close 8 cents. That's a winner. New trade, they sold a call for a $38 strike price, 3.4% out of the money. Up next is SNOI, BC bought a close, 383. They lost 1.1 million, so they lost their trade this week. Their new trade, they sold a call for the 175 strike price, and they went 2.47% out of the money. Up next, AMZY, BC bought a close, 63 cents. And then a BC bought a close, looks like a forced one though, 440. So we'll focus on the top one. And yeah, they won that trade. They sold a call for next week, 137 strike, 1.39% out of the money. Now the 290s after that, not sure what happened, but obviously they closed out their call early, and what did they do? They roll up, or they closed at 131 here, and they rolled it up to 136. So they took the loss early. Got the credit from the credit call spread. I guess Airbnb has been going up. Here's fiat. I hate these inverse ones. But I'm just going to look at the value, market value, column I. Obviously, debits greater than credits because you see this 2.5 million. BC by the close, 102.40. Good God. Sorry, the sneeze. But yeah, look, 102.40. They got their asses kicked. Why? Because they're shorting coin. Hello? You're shorting coin? No, thank you. Moving on. All right, here we go. Shorting Nvidia. Nvidia has been doing pretty damn good. I'm guessing they lost money here too. Actually, it wasn't that bad. Overall made money on dips. BC about to close the put cheap, 10 cents. Wow. Okay. So dips, I think overall profit. Hey, Babo, about to close 5 cents. Babo, about to close 182. That's a loss. So they won the smaller trade, which I guess didn't matter. This was the biggie, the 4,100. They lost that trade, I guess. And then they sold a call for next week, $87. That's 2.21% out of the money. Here's the YQs. I'm just going to go market value, overall debit. So it looks like YQs losing money. Platey, BC bought it closed, 61 cents. All right, they won their trade. Then they sold a call for next week, $72 strike price. 0.32% out of the money, really? For Palantir? You're about to get your ass handed to you. It's only 850 contracts. Not sure how many total they have, though. Here's Maru. Maru by the close, 189. Yeah, they lost their trade. But they sold a call for next week. $22 strike price. 10.5% out of the money. That's good. That's what I'm talking about. 10% out of the money for a freaking crypto stock. Now, here's Ulti, guys. Ulti. Oh, my God. I mean, we got to get more on the screen here. Just what do you even look at here? I'm just going to go real quick. BC bought a close, $2, 409. Looks like they lost on the ELF trade, all right? Here's the massive credit at the top, 300. I don't even know what that is. And then we go BC bought a close, PANW, 236, and then 18. Well, they lost the PANW. CrowdStrike, they won. They only paid 18 cents to close it. MSTR, they got their asses handed to them. They paid 36. Actually, let's look at that one. So they did a BC bought a close. They had a 360 strike. And then new position for next week, sold a call. They chose a 425 for MSTR. That's 7% out of the money. And then they bought a put. Okay. All right. Here's VRT by the close, 433. Looks like they lost that trade. Cava, BC by the close, 92 cents. Okay, they won the Cava trade. COHR by the close, 302. They lost that trade. Palantir by the close, 143. It looks like they just lost that trade. DJT by the close, 20 cents. They won that trade. That's good. Nvidia by the close, 118. They looks like they just won that trade. Again, I don't know what the credit was when they opened it, so I'm just assuming. UPST by the close, 498. That's a definite loss. HIMS by the close, 3 cents. They won the HIMS trade. And then Soxol by the close, 198. They lost that trade. And then they got Soxy, all these freaking puts, selling puts, selling puts, selling puts. And then they got some by the closes on Soxy, 22.90, 25.30, getting their asses handed to them. 13,349. Not good, man. Oh, here's one. But overall, Soxol, I'm not going to go through all of them, but it looks like a lot of, because Soxol ETF was up, which I'm assuming most of the chip stocks were up, which means Soxy got their asses kicked yesterday. And here's LFGY, one of the newer funds. But selling a call on one contract on Melly, selling a call on CIFR, selling a call CAN, getting credits. So, yeah, not much going on there. Oh, my God. Was that a lot or what? Yes, it was. Sorry for the long video, but it's Saturday. I said I was going to cover all of the intraday trades. It's now time for you guys to give me feedback on if that was worth your time and my time or our time. Because again, it's here. I can cover it. Obviously, it extends the video, so you guys let me know. It's not as hard because it's just skimming through numbers, doing my best to try to make sense of it. So as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, we will do our best. Do our best. We will try again whenever the next daily video is. There actually is no Monday recap. Monday morning, I plan on doing another YieldMax versus Yield Boost update, so stay tuned for that. Tuesday will be the Monday recap because obviously the market opens again on Tuesday morning because obviously Monday is Martin Luther King Day. It's also the inauguration, so big day, and we'll see how the market reacts on Tuesday morning. And as mentioned earlier, if you enjoy this content, please hit the like button, all right? Like it. You like it a lot, right? If you have any questions or concerns, leave them down in the comments below. Outside of that, it's keyword time. So what does that mean? It means if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you gotta say a keyword. Okay. Yeah, I'm losing it. This was way too long. So today's keyword, if you made it this far in the video, I don't even know. I got to think about it. I don't know. I really don't know. How about I'm just going to say thank you. Again, a community member, see this sheet? A community member helped me out with this. He told me not to mention his name, which is, I'm perfectly fine with. But I just want to say to him, if he's watching, thank you. And if you guys don't mind, if you want to say in the keywords today, if you want to prove that you made it this far in the video and you want to say thank you as well, then type under the comments, thank you. Thank you, unnamed individual. Thank you, computer programmer. Thank you, awesome person. Thank you, you great community member. Thank you. Thank you. So, yeah, that's today's keyword, and it goes out to him or her or whoever. But that's it. That's all I got for today. I just want to say, again, thank you for watching. If you made it this far, you're awesome. I mean, you're seriously awesome because this was long. I don't know how long, but it was long. All right, that's enough yapping. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll talk to you soon.